Welcome back, my loves, to another episode of the Unlabeled Mindset Podcast. Today's episode is very exciting because I'm finally getting back to uploading videos and filming myself on YouTube. So I will be recording this episode and you can follow along and watch it on YouTube. I'll be adding the link down below for the podcast. So make sure you check it out. Give me a subscribe and like. And yeah, very exciting. I said I was going to do this for a while already and I haven't. And I'm like, what's the point of doing everything, all this work that I'm talking about if I'm not implementing it myself, right? So with that, I'm very excited to get into today's episode. Do you ever have these moments of insane desire to be living the life that you want to live, the dream life, to already be in that luxury apartment or the luxury $1 million home, to no longer have to work for anybody else but yourself, and to be able to provide for yourself and your family? This need to just force something into action, like starting a side hustle or feeling like you have to do something different because you are so tired of living the same reality, but you just don't know how to get there. You don't know where to start. You feel like you are too late into the game, or you don't have that confidence and the motivation, or maybe you have the motivation, but you don't have the belief in yourself that you're able to do something different, that you're able to change the path that you're going through right now. If this is you, then keep listening because I'm about to show you how to start shifting into that new reality. One of the big things that I want to share is we're going to find success in becoming the best version of ourselves. Find success in becoming the best version of yourself. Because once you conquer that, everything else will follow. And your external life is going to start reflecting that in the physical 3D reality. Because once you start making those changes within, once you start creating that new embodiment internally, then everything else will have to follow. It's law, it's physics. This is actual reality. I feel that a lot of times we tend to focus more on our external stuff, right? We tend to focus on our appearances. We tend to focus on these external realities and we try to change that. But in reality, we're not changing the root cause of what's affecting it. When we go back to the root and change that, when we cut it and we create a new path, we create a new way of thinking, then everything else changes because it follows through with what we are now becoming, with who we are becoming. So just to share a bit about my transformation of finding success in the best version of myself, I came to realize like it was Sunday and tomorrow reality hit and I had this insane dread and resistance and just this feeling of almost like depression, like where I didn't want to have to get up the next day at 6 a.m. and go to work for 8 or 9 hours and feel miserable in this office space where I just didn't want to be there, where you're pressured to meet sales goals or you're pressured to fix other people's problems. Don't get me wrong. I mean, I was grateful and I am grateful for my job, but I was only grateful because of the fact that it's compensating me and I'm able to pay my bills and I'm able to have enough to be able to do stuff that I want to do, right? Like go out or whatever, buy what I want. But at the same time, there was no fulfillment out of it. Like that's the only reason why I was going to work. And that's the only reason why many people go to work. It's not because they enjoy it. It's because they have this obligation to do it. And this dread that follows with it is just absolutely draining. I knew that there was something more to life, and so I felt this need to start researching, to start doing something different with my life. I'm like, this can't be it. Like, this can't be the only thing that we came here to do in this lifetime. Like, there has to be more. And with that, I went into this rabbit hole of just learning the way of life, learning this game of life, essentially, learning that there's way more than what we know. And it all starts with your mind, how you perceive yourself, who you were taught to be growing up, and the belief system that you have about every single experience in your life has to do with how your life is now. within learning the law of attraction, law of physics, manifestation, I decided to take so many different paths and leap of faith where I ended up starting a clothing brand and quitting my 9-to-5 job. From that, I went into starting the podcast. And from that, now it's just like being able to see all these new identities that I created for myself that allowed me to do the stuff that I set out for. And it didn't start by me just faking it in. At first, that's what I wanted to do, like just fake it till you make it, right? Because that's what everyone's that I was exposed to was telling me. But in reality, it was just like this inner work that had to be done in order for you to get the results that you wanted externally. And I never realized how that would come into play with business, with the clothing brand, with even starting a podcast. You know, who do you identify yourself as to be this person that can provide this message, or this person that can show up every single day to be able to share their experiences and share their knowledge with others? And I'm calling myself out, but I'm also calling you out as well, because the main reasons why we don't get to live the life that we want to live is because it is pure procrastination, no sense of self-discipline, no sense with following through with your word, no consistency, no self-love for yourself. Because that's what it essentially comes down to. Doing something better for yourself has a lot to do with how you view yourself. If you view yourself capable of doing something, of achieving it, of going for it, choosing moments of comfort and pleasure instead of focus and action towards what you do want, has been one of the biggest things that holds a lot of you back. Has anyone actually held you back from doing the things that you want? Not really. No one has held you back from living the life that you want other than yourself. You have allowed yourself too much comfort. And you may even find yourself in moments often of getting frustrated, getting angry with yourself because nothing changes, because you're living the same reality that you were 5, 10 years ago, living the same reality, facing the same struggles. And what we don't realize is, why is all of this still happening? Nothing seems to change. The biggest shift there is what we are saying to ourselves that is true. What we believe to be true is what is going to reflect externally. We cannot see something externally, physically in our life now if we don't fully believe it is there. If we don't fully have a belief about it, that it's true. So what do you have to be telling yourself now to be experiencing what you are seeing currently? And what do you have to start changing? What do you have to start saying to yourself now to start creating the new reality that you do want? Who do you have to become to change that reality? What do you have to do to stay consistent and disciplined with your word to yourself, for yourself? What is distracting you? What do you have to remove from your daily life? From your day-to-day? Is it canceling your Netflix subscription? Is it removing certain people from your life or distancing yourself so that they're not influencing your actions? What do you have to let go of? And who do you have to become? What do you have to say to yourself to start living the reality that you want? And of course, it's going to be different for every single person. What I say to myself is going to be different than what you say to yourself because you have a different idea of life. There's something that you specifically want. And only you can be able to get yourself there because you have your guidance system, your intuition, your gut instinct is going to be guiding you. No one else can tell us where or how to get there but yourself. And once you start turning within to find the answers, then you'll be able to have the guidance that you need. But you have to trust yourself first. You have to have trust that you can get yourself there. You have to believe in yourself. Once you start changing that and becoming confident in what you are capable of, you're going to start seeing the difference in your life. You're going to start seeing the changes that you need to be making to have the life that you do want. We have to become deliberate creators of our own experiences. You have to be the one to direct and have control of your thoughts. The thoughts that you have, you want to think of them as magnets. What you're putting out there, you are essentially receiving back. And so you want to see this as more of like a game of life. Think of it as you're on level 1 of understanding how this reality works. You have to know the rules of the game, right? Rules of the game in life is, how are we directing our thoughts? How are we becoming deliberate creators of our own experiences? And I'm sorry if this gets a little confusing with my metaphors. What you're putting out there into the universe is a frequency. It's a vibration. And that thought that you're putting out there, let's say it's, I want to get a new job. Your direct thoughts and focus should be, I am looking for an opportunity for a new job that is going to meet all of these requirements that I want for that job. What most people focus on instead is, oh, I hate my job and I dread going there every single day and I don't know what I'm going to do about it, but I just dread it and I hate it and I'm just going to go home and drink and try to suppress what I'm feeling, and because this is just the way of life and nothing else can be changed. When in reality, we're focusing on the wrong things. Instead of focusing on what we don't want, we need to focus on what we do want. We want a new job. We want a different opportunity. So what are we going to focus on? We're going to focus on putting that out there into the universe. We're going to focus on directing our thoughts to, I am looking for the opportunity for a new job that's going to meet this requirement where I get to be flexible with my hours, where I get to, let's say, work from home. This is how much I get paid. You want to be realistic with it, but you also want to be direct, and the more specific you are with it, the more opportunities, the more doors you are opening, the more you are attracting towards you to be able to get that. Whatever you are giving your attention to is already creating an energy vibration. And as you are holding your attention to it, as you are focusing your attention to it, it becomes bigger and bigger and bigger. It's just like practicing anything in life. The more you practice it, the easier it gets. The more you practice and focus on a direct thought, the easier, the more often you start to focus on that specific thought, that specific thing that you want. It's about shifting from what we don't want to what we do want, because we are all focusing essentially on the wrong things. And when you focus on the wrong things, when you focus on what we don't want, on lack, on scarcity, on fear, that's what you keep attracting to yourself. A belief is a practiced vibration, a practiced frequency. Once you have practiced it long enough, the law of attraction will bring it forth. It's law. It's literally physics, law of attraction. It's going to bring you that match, that frequency to match the vibration that you are putting out. And before you know it, it becomes your new belief. It becomes your new truth, even if it seems delusional at first. It becomes your new truth until it becomes your new reality. You have experience becoming someone who directs your thoughts to work for them instead of against them. Anything that you give your attention to will become your truth. There is no exception. But you have to fully believe in it. You have to fully practice it in order to start seeing it in your reality. And even just going back to this episode and reviewing it, I came to realize that I didn't add this. Even though I wasn't able to get the results that I wanted out of starting the clothing brand right away, or out of starting the podcast right away, I still became this completely different version of myself that I never ever envisioned before. I expanded my capacity. I expanded who I could become, who I became as a person in a matter of months, in a matter of weeks actually, to shift that new reality for myself. And most people won't ever get themselves out of their comfort zone to do something new. So how do you expect to make a change in your life if you can't get yourself out of your comfort zone past that to become a new version, the new identity of yourself that can achieve the things that you want? Just wanted to add that. If you can start focusing on just this one thing of directing your focus to your thoughts, directing your thoughts to the things that you do want, trust me that I say that you will start seeing the biggest transformation in your life. because you have just shifted a whole new energy in your life, in your ability to become a creator of your life. No longer being the person that doesn't feel like they have control of it, because in reality, you do. You are the only person that can change your life and create the dream that you keep envisioning for yourself. And the only thing stopping you is yourself. So I hope you guys were able to get some great insight from this episode. If you like what you heard, make sure you subscribe for YouTube and make sure you leave a review, because these reviews really help me be able to understand what you guys are getting out of this episode and how I can continue to be contributing to this podcast. I love you guys so much, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.